And it is 12 o'clock, and so we will call this Planning and Zoning Committee meeting to order. Two items on the agenda, both are tabled. The zoning code changes, a quick update. City Planning did make numerous recommendations for changes, and then unanimously sent that to Planning and Zoning. I believe, Matt, you guys are going to generate a red line copy with the CPC changes from what we sent them, and so we'll see those at our August meeting and get a chance to start the review time at that point in time. And then we also have on the table 609 West Folk Avenue rezone, and I would move to lift that table, move that item off the table.
Second.
And all in favor of removing it from the table, please say aye.
Aye.
And so we now will consider 609 West Folk Avenue rezone.
Okay, so I'll quickly do the staff report here. So the request is on the south side of West Folk, west of the intersection with Bolton Street there, and highlighted in red. It is zoned R3 small lot residential. To the north along Trenton Avenue, it's mostly zoned C2 general commercial. Along the south side of West Folk Avenue, it is zoned R3 small lot residential. It's not located within floodplain, and the land use plan designates the parcel as small lot residential. So the site is currently a single family home. The applicant, Shane Kelly, is the father of the property owner, Damon Kelly, and essentially he was going to locate an accessory building on the site to house a sublimation business on the property. Sublimation is kind of like screen printing, where you putting logos on T-shirts and cups. So he had this accessory building that he wanted to store his equipment and house the business. And when he met with our staff, we talked about doing a home business on the site, but he felt that the lack of foot traffic and lack of signage was detrimental to the business. Looking at the land use plan, it designates the site as residential. Therefore, the request went against the land use plan as adopted by the City of Findlay. Although the land use plan is only one of the guiding criteria, deviation from the plan is generally done under unique circumstances. In this case, with this request, there's a variety of other concerns that suggest that deviation would not be a benefit to the surrounding community. These concerns include increased traffic, increase in use intensity, and extending commercial south into a residential neighborhood. So with that, staff recommended that that City Planning Commission recommend denial of the application for zoning amendment ZA-04-2023 filed by Shane Kelly to rezone 619 West Folk Avenue from R3 small lot residential to C1 local commercial. And that is what the recommendation was from Planning Commission, as unanimous.
Real quickly, folks, we're not going to talk about your case at all. We don't have it on the agenda. We don't have any say in conditional use. If you're here just to see the excitement of zoning work, well, thank you for joining us. But just so you know, your case is, we have no say in it, and we won't be discussing it. So you have no need to stay here if you have better, plans like nice lunch at downtown and something like that. So with that, yeah, CPC did, City Planning did make a motion to deny this, and I believe it was unanimous. And for the reasons, the reasons that Jacob mentioned, I'm always concerned with. I'm concerned with the creep of commercial, in this case, into a residential, and being the first one, and then hearing more of the gentleman's plans. Even if, it doesn't really work as a home business because he wants walk-up traffic. He's looking to add another structure onto this site, making it and actually having it be a pretty tight site plan with the addition of the building. And then but the bigger challenge is with when you make something. So are we going to C2 or C1? Because this thing, my report here says C1, and I thought city planning considered C2.
I think the original request was,
C1 it was the request at City Planning Commission.
Okay, there were in some of the documentation that said C2. Once C1, always C1, and if this gentleman's plans don't come to fruition, you still have a C1 zoning, a C1 lot in the middle of the residential, and I'm in this situation. I'm very uncomfortable with that. Other questions or comments?
And I can confirm, as you go east and west along this area, it's very similar. It's zoned residential. There is some office zoning 3 or 4 blocks down that are part of the university, but there's definitely south of Folk is residential, north of Folk is commercial and residential.
Denny?
I guess I would concur. I would concur with your thoughts on this, as well as those of the Planning Commission, with increased intensity of use, traffic. You end up with commercial creep in a residential district, and in this block and several on either side of it, it's all residential in my view of it, and I guess I would move that we deny the request.
We have a second by Mr. Baumann.
Yep. Motion and a second. Questions or comments on the motion? So that's a motion to deny the requested rezone. So an aye vote means we are denying the request. And any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion to deny the request, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. And it is denied. And seeing as though we have no other business, we will call this meeting to a close.
You weren't gonna just go over the updates? He wasn't gonna ramble on?
No, there's numerous in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you need to get the copy.
If I can watch the video.
We're not going to do anything on the zoning code? All right.
Yeah. Site plan. Yep. Okay, the rezone is still in. That's true.
It went through last planning commission, so it may be the third reading.
We'll have to look. Oh, I didn't sign. I didn't.
Oh,